Is it supposed to?
I hit that. So it should be ready. I'm going to turn the bass down a little bit. And we should be ready.
If you can't, I'll remember.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? You guys know how I do. It's your boy, Tommy Sotomayor, and we are live on a one-on-one, and this is a one-on-one that I had to do. When you hear somebody going in as hard or harder than you on a situation that, to be perfectly honest, we all should find a problem with it. We all should find an issue with it. But the sad part is many people don't. Maybe it's because they fear the backlash they're going to get from it, or they just fear the people in their family that may look at them and call them things like a sellout, a coon, or whatever it is. But the good thing about people who've made their own way, they usually speak to you the most honest. And ladies and gentlemen, right now, without further ado, I got a brother that's on the show that was #1 pick in the NBA draft, 12-year pro. My friend, I'm going to say this is my friend, Kwame Brown. What's going on, bro?
Well, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing well, doing well. First off, glad to have you on the show. Now, I'm surprised you said something. You said you had known me prior to. Tell me about that, because I am honored if you knew anything about me before I knew anything about you.
Well, see, to me, like you like a fresh air, you like a breath of fresh air for the people who want to say what you can say but can't say it because we have a job or something that'll get us fired, or yeah, or we have a woman at home that don't like your use of the word bitch. Or, they can't get past the emotions and the things that you say, but the logic behind it. Once I start listening, it was like, damn. The things he's saying is what I'm going through. When I started reading books and I started doing things, they called me white boy. So you can't get past the facts and the logic that you're saying. That's why so many people who hate you end up loving you and then hating you again because they can't find a way to make money off of you.
So let me ask you, what was the first thing that you saw of mine that introduced me to you, and how did you feel when you hear it? Because I always hear people when they hear or watch something of mine, their first reaction is, ooh, it's almost like, I can't believe you said that. What was your introduction to me?
Just the way you presented it in the hood, to where black men can't really say nothing. Like I was a victim of my circumstance. Like I knew niggas was stupid, but I couldn't say nothing. And it was like a lot of us sit quiet and let stupid niggas say stuff because they violent and you don't want to get into it with them. And so you just a victim of your circumstance. And it's like, it's unfortunate. But when I heard you speak, it's like, damn, this dude's saying everything that I'm thinking. Believe it or not, it's so many other people that think the same way. It's so many other people, and it's just fear, You say the opposite opinion, when you say the truth, it's presented as hate. It's presented as something that is not. It should be presented as love. Anybody that's willing to tell you the truth and they don't benefit from it, that's love.
Amen. Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know who this is Kwame Brown, 12-year NBA pro, and a man at this point who says, I don't give a damn, I'm telling the truth. And what brought it out was the passing of Kobe Bryant. And for some odd reason, you guys know the internet. Every day I got to deal with the internet saying stupid stuff, but I don't have to deal with the internet anywhere close to the level in which this man has dealt with the internet people crap for like years. And you never hear him say anything. He's one of the quietest people I've seen. And I think people don't understand the Georgia mentality. They think because we're quiet, we're punks. Or because we don't sit and argue with you that, we're not rah, rah, rah. There's something, and a lot of us just hold it until we just can't hold it anymore, and then it comes out. And then even when you finally went in, you still went in quite calm. But I want you to talk to me a little bit about the thing that happened that brought you into it. People decided to use Kobe's death to bring your name into something. And it was, as I've tried to explain to the audience many times, way inappropriate. One, tell me what made you speak. And two, can you tell us, people who most of us have never even met Kobe, what his passing meant to you?
Well, to me, it was everything about what the memes meant and everything they said. It was just distasteful. It was like, it's another example of people with no character that you can't say nothing about because this fake outrage, if people were allowed to be honest with black folk, they would tell us that they don't want to be around us, not because we black, it's because the stupid shit we do. And we all are being lumped into a group because of it. And what Kobe meant to me, he was somebody I would want my son to be like. I tell it all the time. I say this all the time. Him, Floyd Mayweather, and a couple of guys that I see are attacked the most. If you look at how dedicated they were, I wish I could be as disciplined and as dedicated as a Kobe, as a Floyd Mayweather, as somebody that they're a product of their environment. They don't get everything right. They grew up in the hood. They're around killers. They're around thugs because you can't make it out from where you made it from without being around these real people. So Floyd Mayweather, Kobe, all of these guys, I would say I would want my son to be like them over me because they had a little bit extra than me. I had a lot of baggage, and a lot of times people get offended by one of the things I said in my little rant or whatever you call it was I had to help my mama. And I think a lot of times people overlook that. There's a lot of things, a lot of people go to jail because they're trying to help mama, and I think that needs to be taken more into account. Instead of bashing people for bringing it to the light, you need to take that into account. I was a child in that situation, so I don't care what type of degree you got. I don't care what you got going on. You can't tell me what I saw. So
same thing with me. I told people I've been working since I was 10. And it's always a lot of us young black men have that thought of we got to be daddy for mama. We got to take mama out the hood. And it actually takes us away from being able to grow up and enjoy our life because we become men way too early. Ladies and gentlemen, we got my man Kwame Brown on the show right now. And I want to ask you this question about what you said versus what I said. And a brother came on the show. I don't know if you know him, Philip Buchanan, played for the Oakland Raiders. He was the #1 draft pick for them as a cornerback. He said on the day he got drafted, his mother sent him a bill for $1 million. He wrote a book about it, about how he, had to get away from his family. Kobe, one of the things that Kobe said was, if you have an opportunity to do anything for your family, what you can do, you don't give them money. You give them opportunity, but you don't give them money.
Yeah,
what is your story?
That's correct. Like I was depressed for most of part of my career. It's like you get all this money, you work your ass off, you get to some place, and then now all people see you as is money. And it's like, and the funny story is I won't say his name, but I had an interesting conversation with a white teammate of mine in Philadelphia. He asked me about what did I buy when I got drafted. And I started to tell him some of the things that I bought. I was proud of it. I'm like, shit, I bought my mama a house. She was on the golf course. I brought all of my brother's cars. I'm taking care of my brothers in prison. I'm doing all these things. And I said, well, what did you buy? He's like, I went and bought stocks and bonds. Ooh. My daddy taught me to do this. And I'm like, what? He was looking at me. That was like an aha moment. He was looking at me like, nigga, you going to be broke. Because you got to help all these people. And it's like, people don't understand, like it's dangerous for you as an athlete to have all this money and you're around all these sharks. Ooh. It's dangerous.
Jeez. And it's like, you look at what a lot of brothers have to go through and nobody wants to talk about it. I think his name Tyron Smith, right tackle for the Dallas Cowboys. His mother showed up with her boyfriend and his sisters at his practice demanding money from him. They had to get security to take him out. You watch all these brothers, and the first thing they do is they say they got to take care of mama. But you watch Eli Manning, he didn't have to take care of mama. Ben Roethlisberger, they didn't have to take care of mama. But a lot of us end up being that food, and it makes us feel good for a while, because I know that feeling, not to your level. But it makes you feel good for a while, and then like you said, you get that aha moment. That person walks up to you and says, you bought what? You did what with your money? How did it make you feel like afterwards to know, wait a minute, I'd sit up here and think that this makes me the man feeding all these people, But what it kind of makes you is like a fool because everyone's waiting to be fed. Everyone in my family, I had to cut them off. I literally moved out of Georgia for 7 years. People tell you I left and went to Arizona because I didn't want to be around them because people I didn't know, I didn't remember growing up. I never had seen them at any one of my damn games. Now you're here. Now you want something. How did you navigate through that after getting that eye-opening experience from your Philadelphia teammate?
A lot of fights. I didn't learn. I didn't learn how conflict resolution till later. So a lot of fights, a lot of arguing, a lot of smoking, drinking, a lot of bullshit. You know, a lot of things that everybody go through. Same thing that most celebrities go through. It seems like that's a common denominator that people that are successful, their success becomes their Achilles heel. Michael Jackson, we watched him go crazy right in front of us. We watched people torture this man to the point to where he went crazy. That's what they do to all celebrities. It's like nothing ain't good enough. Oh, you played in the NBA. If you work any other job other than the NBA, then you are this, you are that. You ain't nothing. You broke. It's like really?
Yeah, like
it's like these people are not for real. It's like they minions or something.
Like, here's the thing I dealt with. I don't know if, again, your level would be different than mine, but I think what the part that bothered me is the more people I spoke to, Tyrese and I, when we spoke about feeling like people don't care about your emotions. They don't care if you're sick. They don't care if you're depressed. They don't care if you're tired. They just want something from you. And people stop viewing you as a person and start viewing you as a check. Did you experience
100%.
that?
100%. And it's like, not only that, people start viewing you as a check. It's just like with my unique situation with coming out of high school, it was the first ever that having everybody assume things about you. Everybody assume you dumb. Everybody assume you this. And it's like, when I said one thing in the rant that I said, you know, people are getting raped by their own family members. And it's funny how I dated some beautiful women. You know, some beautiful women that are educated. There's something about me that I attract very educated women. And they have doctorate degrees. They have all these things. And I dated this one girl, and I'm not gonna say her name because she stayed real close to me still. But all she wanted to do at some point is have a baby. She got to a certain age and she just was like, I'm a doctor and I want to have a baby. And I'm like, no, wait a minute. We arguing, we going through all these things. I'm not having no baby. Like, what are you doing? It was like an accessory. It was like a purse or something. And I'm like, I'm not at the point where I want to have a baby. This isn't it. And she was. And, you know, I was trying to make it happen. I was going to make it happen. But then I just knew that I said, something ain't right. She's always arguing. She's always upset about something. I got to find out what's going on. So then I, you know, visit her family's home, or where she grew up. And, you know, she left to go get something from the store. And I was talking to one of her brothers that was cool before she left. And then I guess one of her other brothers came up. And when she came back, she went crazy. She went crazy on me. She went crazy on the brother. So I asked her, I'm like, yo, what's going on? Like, what the hell happened? And then after she explained it in the hotel and all that, she had got raped by her own brother.
No.
She has a doctorate in education. She's a very smart young lady, beautiful, long hair. Everything about her would make you say this is the one. But up here, because of that trauma, she really don't trust anybody. And it's like, so that's why when I started listening to you and things that you said, it was like, damn, even though his delivery is harsh, it's like, he's right. Like, this girl could be the one for any man on paper.
Yep.
But in real life, she fucked up. And you really can't, like, I'm ready to fight her brother, do all this. And I'm like, I thought about it. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm ready to, and the crazy thing is, her brother, the way we kind of bonded was, he was a hunter. He had guns. He was showing me different stuff. So I'm like, shit, this is going to be a shootout. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I'm finna take these chances. But then her mama was okay with the situation. Her other brother was standing right there, and they all knew this happened. So it's like, damn, this happens over and over again.
Dude, I dated a girl. and I was over her house for Thanksgiving, and I've told them this story a few times. She had this cousin, and they were real close, but then they would argue, and I didn't understand their dynamic. So then she finally tells me the dynamic, that he used to rape her, she said, from the time she was 9 to the time she was 15. And I said, I don't know how somebody raped somebody that damn long. I thought, wow, it sounds like y'all might be in a relationship. But if he was that bad of a person, why was it on Thanksgiving? This nigga was at the house, and like you, now you done got me all hype, and I'm ready to fight this man. I don't know the story, and I don't know what's going on, and that's y'all's crazy family dynamic. And like you said, she would talk to me about having kids, and the next thing you know, we fighting, we fisting up. I ended up going to jail over this girl. She was just nuts. But it's one of those things where we don't realize where people come from, but we look at the package, and the package was beautiful. Like you said, everything about her was beautiful, but inside she was a horribly beaten and broken person. And a lot of us are beaten and broken. Have you come to that realization that every time you bring somebody into your life, you're bringing whatever demons they have with them?
Oh yeah, and that's why I've been reserved. I've been scared to meet people because it's like, damn, if somebody like that have this much going on, and it's like when I went to the NBA rookie transitional camp, it's like they trained us for abuse. It's like if it was a woman, the shit that they told us in rookie transitional camp, it would have been outrage. They told us if a woman hits you, lock yourself in the bathroom. I'm like, what?
Wow.
I'm a big, strong dude. I got to lock myself in a fucking bathroom. Are you kidding me? I can do all sorts of things.
Right.
Lock myself in the bathroom. But why can't I just call the cops and get her out of here? No, she could say this. Like, they trained us to take abuse from women.
And you see how that's gotten, your boy just came out that this girl lied on him and everything. The actor, Johnny Depp. I don't know if you noticed. Johnny Depp, the tape came out. She was whooping his ass. And he had to take it for fear of how it would look. And she still turned on him.
Yeah. I mean, that's what goes on every day. Like I tell people all the time, if you have children, like I have children, if I let one child do whatever she or he wants to do, and I have another child and I raise this child up under rules, then that child that I didn't give any rules and guidance is going to become the worst motherfucker in the world. And that's what's happening to some of these women. They learn to manipulate the system. They torture good guys. The only people they can't torture is thugs. That's why they keep fucking them and having babies, because they know they're going to knock the shit out of them and put them in their place. So it's okay for that to happen because they think they deserve that. Every media outlet, everywhere they go, they need a real man. They need somebody that'll put them in their place. What you mean by that? I can tell you to shut the fuck up, but other than me putting my hands on you, what is he gonna do? I can tell you to shut up. Thugs really gonna make you shut up.
Right.
They don't have no job. They don't have nobody you can call to fire them. So they're gonna make you shut up.
Oh, yes. And it is funny that they will claim you will see songs like Destiny's Child when they said they need a soldier. I don't know what the fuck that mean. Look, who was in the military? I'm not understanding. You need a soldier. What is he doing? And then they're selling this to these young girls, and they will say, you see, K. Michelle said something like that. I like thugs, and all of them say I like thugs, and what comes with that thugs is usually, I guess, maybe the discipline they didn't get when they were young from a father or a loving figure. Do you think that a lot of these black women have just gotten to a point where they've misconstrued what love is and what that has made up for this thug who lays down these rules and puts his hand on them, has substituted themselves for the daddy that they didn't get?
Well, I think it's both. I think it's me being a child in that situation. Like, I always yearned for my father. Like, no matter what my mom said, I always yearned for my dad. Like, it was some things that I was insecure about that only a man could show me. So I'm not trying to, just bash women. I understand that a lot of the situations that go on is because you can't really work with them. And I wish they would allow us to work with them. But if they would just receive it in a way, and maybe I could present it in a way that I was a child that saw coaches, I saw what really went on in these situations, and they know that it's nothing strong about being a woman alone with a child. Nobody sees it like that in real life. and they know it. That's why they guard it and protect it with so much venom when you say something different. And that's why the media and everybody, they know women are going to spend their money. They know the kids are going to go to prison. This research now, you can't, if you're so educated, there's research now that you can show the prison, the pipeline system, all of these things that are negatively affected by you doing this one thing wrong, which is having a child out of wedlock.
Yes, sir. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we got my man Kwame Brown on the line, and I gotta ask you one question. You gotta do me a favor because it'll make me feel good. Tell me and the audience either the most memorable, the funniest, or the one that made you think story of your interaction with Kobe Bryant. Just the one that stands out with you, since a lot of people are doing their memoriam of Kobe. What is the interaction with you that stood out, that might be the funniest or the most poignant that you had with him?
I remember I was injured. I was real injured for this game. I think we was playing Houston Rockets and they had Yao Ming. I needed to have shoulder surgery and ankle surgery that year. A lot of the time, like I got a competitive problem. Like a lot of the times they show you I couldn't dunk a basketball and all this stupid shit. I needed ankle surgery and shoulder surgery in the same season, and I elected to play. You know, you giving me $8 million, might as well. That's how I thought about it. You know, but I do appreciate some of these younger guys taking advantage of getting all this money and taking advantage of your body and not allowing teams to use you. But myself, I was like, you know, I was still up under that old system. You just gonna play regardless. And Kobe was like, look, man, I know you got one ankle, one shoulder, but goddamn it, you get me open. Please come out here and get me open. and you see in that video, matter of fact, he scored 81 that one game, but people forget he went on a tear. He went on, I think he went 7 or 8 games or 6 games where he scored 55 points or more. And I think I was in every one of those games. I was getting them open in every one of those games on one ankle and one shoulder. I was on Anderson. I was on all kind of anti-inflammatories, all kind of things to even walk. My ankle was so big I couldn't even get out of bed. But you have guys like Stephen A. Smith talking about bona fide scrub and he can't dunk. I laugh because, you know, Stephen A. Smith get paid for that.
Yeah.
But and if you would ask Stephen A. Smith, I never came up to him. I never disrespected him. Even when it was some of my guys in the club ready to do him wrong. I'm like, no. That's this man's job. But I think what he did was he created a lot of little minion Stephen A. Smiths that don't get paid to do so, and they just talking for no reason.
Yeah. How do you feel about the state of talking heads today? Because I know a lot of them were saying, I really actually appreciate, and I don't know how you feel, Kawhi Leonard. I appreciate the fact that he says, I don't really give a crap what y'all say. I'm going to take care of me before I allow you. Because I know you did come up in that era where it didn't matter how hurt you were. They were going to inject you with something and they needed you to play. It was, we need to do it. But the youngsters today, they are changing it. They're taking their days off. They're making sure their body's right. They're bringing their own trainers. Look at what Tom Brady did. Tom Brady brought his own person in. He was not going to let that the team doctor tell him if he's well or not. How do you feel about the power that they've taken back? Do you think that they've gotten softer, as some of these talking heads are saying? Or do you think this is something that's way past due?
All I can say is I wish I would have done it. I respect all those young guys that are taking care of their bodies. I would suggest that each and every last one of them get an outside opinion. I remember when Andrew Bynum did it. You know, they were trying to get him to play on one knee. And his cartilage was gone, all this stuff was gone, and he had a guy as a buffer. That's one of the biggest things I regret is that I wish I had a male influence. I know a lot of people don't like Lonzo Ball, or what is his dad's name? LeVar Ball? LeVar Ball. People don't get it. That man represents his son. And I hope Lonzo don't fall for the bullshit that they trying to do, because they don't want a man around anything.
Amen.
You notice how they don't talk about Steph and Seth Curry, how a man who got 2 young men to the NBA, they highlight, and no offense to LeBron and his mom, they highlight his mom to show a picture of her in the stands. But if it's my recollection, he did his own thing to get himself to the league, just like I did. And I paid for my shoes. I paid for everything. But Steph and Seth Curry had a different outcome than I did. They had a man taking care of their stuff, and they don't highlight enough on what men do.
Yeah.
People got mad at me when I said in one of the videos, I got upset and I said in the 9/11 when the Twin Towers got knocked down, there was nothing but men ran into that building. If you make every person not a man or whatever you want to make them, who's going to defend these women? Real men protect women. Who's going to make sure everything is in order? Because you can't do that without a man.
Yeah, I said that in my movie. I took the shot of the men who they had the plaque who not ran in 9/11 and they died.
Absolutely, I got that from you, by the way.
You seen the movie?
Absolutely, I saw the movie.
Thank you, because I sat there and I said, if you look at this plaque, there's not a female on here. And yet those same men will come home and they can't even get 50-50 custody of their kids. But they throw themselves and we die for women. And it is crazy that we don't get respect. And there's men like you, it's men like me, it's a lot of the men in the pros, there's a lot of men in entertainment. Hell, you look at what they did with Anthony Anderson in the T-Mobile commercial during the Super Bowl. That was a disgusting commercial.
Terrible.
What did you think when you saw that commercial?
You'd never see a white guy do that. You'll never see a white guy because they saw their daddy work every day. They saw their daddy go make it happen. You don't. Mama's boy. His mama called him while he's supposed to be in bed with his wife. Called him in the middle of the night. Hey, mama. It's like what?
And where was she at though when she called him?
At the club.
What your mama doing at the club? Your mama in her 60s. She in her 70s because Anthony in his 40s or 50s. She in her 70s at the club. And they will never do commercials like that. They do the chunky soup commercials with the black players. It's always they mama up in there. They mama getting smart like Saquon Barkley mama got the players told when they said something. And it's always, I got to ask you, why do you think they continue to show black women in that angry, disruptive way? And why do black women, in your opinion, accept that characterization?
Because they got to feel good about something. I think they feel bad. Like I watched my mom cry. She did that front before she got saved. She did that front in front of the world and act like she was all put together. When my daddy went to prison, now, my daddy was a real nigga. He went to prison for 30-something years. He went to prison when I was 5. He just got out. I think women put on this front in front of everybody. But I had the unfortunate sight of seeing my mom cry. I saw her cry all the time when no one was looking. Plies made the song Crying in the Shower, and I think he was absolutely right. And, you know, you could tell I'm one of them kids that got my ass whooped a lot because I talked a lot and I asked a lot of questions. So mama whooped my ass a lot. So I asked too many questions and I saw too many things. And those things I saw let me know that she's human. And I think women feel vulnerable when you see the truth and they don't like it.
I think a lot of us don't know how to process that. And I think it turns us into not very good mates. I always tell women, I'm not a very good mate because one, I didn't see very good relationships at home. And it's hard for me to treat a woman well if the woman who I looked at as my queen, my everything, I saw her get mistreated by dudes. Then why the hell you think I'm gonna treat some strange woman better than how I saw my mom get treated? So yeah, I'm gonna run through you and I'm gonna repeat this cycle because I almost don't know how to have a solid, loving relationship with a woman because I didn't see it. But then I started to realize I think a lot of us black people, and I want your opinion on that. Do you think a lot of us just can't make relationships work because we never saw a working relationship? All we saw was dysfunction?
No, I think a lot of us, like the reason why I think men should be around is because when I was 11 years old, I had a 17-year-old girlfriend. And when that 17-year-old girlfriend wanted to have sex with me, my 22-year-old brother said, you better have sex with her. So then they put me in a room and try to make me have, I'm 11 years old, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So you put me in a room and say, are you gay? You better have sex with this girl. And a lot of times, a lot of situations are forced upon young black men. Like I said, I got picked on for reading. I got picked on for being a virgin. A lot of things we pick on people for doing the right thing.
But don't you think that's the dysfunction of us not knowing? Because when I was 10 years old, there was a girl who was 25 years old who literally pushed me down on the couch, pulled my pants down, started giving me oral sex, and tried to have sex with me. I'm 10 years old. All I want to do is watch He-Man. I knew nothing about sex. I ended up running out of the house. I told that story as a 33-year-old man. When I was 33, I told that story for the first time publicly. Do you know the majority of men told me I was a faggot because I didn't like it?
My brother told me that. My brother laughed at me when I told him that a girl, I was same year, 11 years old, a girl pushed me to the gate, made me suck her titties, do all that. She was a big old woman too. But she made me do all kind of stuff. But I won't say her name, but she know who she is. She's still around. She made me do all, it was two of them too, two big blocks.
Two big body broads.
All kind of stuff. And it's like, my brothers laughed at me. And it's like, nigga. Like I didn't know nothing about that,
mm-hmm.
You know? And that happens all the time. But I will say, when my father was in the home, it was structured.
Thank you.
I don't give a damn how tall you were. If you was old enough to put your arm out like this, he had you carrying some wood. He had you doing something involving work because he let you know you can't stay here free. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of times little kids see their mamas laying around on couches, not doing anything. Everything's still paid for. Everything's still taken care of. And you can't let little boys see that. That's the worst thing you do is let young men see that because they don't know the ideal of work.
This is really sad, ladies and gentlemen. We got Kwame Brown on here, former #1 draft pick in the NBA. Now, let me ask you, I heard you talk about the one and done people. How do you feel about one and done versus going straight to the NBA? Because I honestly think they don't have a problem with white boys when they go straight to Major League Baseball out of high school. They never try to stop that. They don't stop the tennis players, which is mostly white. They don't try to stop the hockey players, which is mostly white. How do you feel about the one and dones? Do you believe they should let more players do like you, or do you think college is necessary?
Well, they're about to lift that ban because they can't make that excuse no more. Your top players are guys out of high school.
Yep.
Or either one and done guys. I mean, they didn't learn nothing going to school for 6 months. They didn't learn anything.
Right, like what the fuck was Zion doing on campus? Seriously, what was he doing on campus for 6 months?
Getting drunk and having sex. That's it. The basketball part is going to take care of itself.
Yep.
You know, I'm a release what happened with me in my book. Like I said, I never complained. I never did none of that. But you've never seen a #1 pick with the minutes I played and the things that in the situations that I've been in. They're unique situations. So to say that I'm something that has never been able to be measured up against something else is weird. I don't think I can ever would have measured up to somebody's goalpost that they set for me for being a #1 pick because Michael Jordan wasn't the #1 pick. So if he wasn't the #1 pick and he's the best ever, then you better be motherfucking God out here on the court. Otherwise, we don't want to hear nothing from you. So
like when they were talking about you, I said, do you understand Kobe, who y'all are telling me about, I think he was the 13th or the 14th pick out of high school, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
And you were #1.
Mm-hmm.
You were #1. That's something that no matter who they are, every year is only one person can say that. When you talk about yourself, and I know you said right there, you said bust life. How does it make you feel, honestly, when people say that? Because I don't know how a 12-year NBA veteran is a bust. Maybe I'd understand in a year, but 12 doesn't sound like bust to me. How does it make you feel when they use their measuring stick to measure what your life was supposed to be?
I don't feel anything. That's why I tell my kids, it's like people gonna say whatever. If this is a free country like we say it is, you gotta let people say stupid shit. And you can't do nothing about that. Any person of substance, any person of means, you're gonna have opposition. And you're gonna have people going against you. So you gotta have that cool demeanor. Like I stay calm, but then I get a little different. So I really ain't worried about what nobody's saying. Like I know who I am. Like, like I said, in my video, I ate too much government cheese and too much free lunch. I know where I came from. And what sad part about it is, I wish more educators, more people. I saw you talking about Dr. Moist Watkins, Boyce Watkins, or whatever.
Moist Watkins, call it right. It's Moist Watkins.
And I used to listen to him a lot. You know, I was come up under that era where women always tell you, be the educated guy. And I think a lot of these guys now, they found a lane to get a degree or whatever else, to just sound educated, but their words mean nothing.
Empty.
I had a girl that argued with me, telling me I'm African, I'm from Africa, and this is and that. I said, how is that going to help that little young brother that can't even afford a fucking ticket to Africa? That's not going to help him, you telling him he African. It's not going to help him telling him a bunch of historic shit. It's not going to help him. What's going to help him is you could tell him a couple of things that he can do different in his life that will help him out. Like, don't have kids out of wedlock. If you want to get an education, get you an education or learn a trade. However you want to figure it out, but you got to do something different. You can't just sit here and think one way. Like I tell people all the time, I live in Fairburn, but there's a bunch of different ways to get downtown. I'm not going to tell you your way is wrong. We're just going to get downtown. We're going to get to the same fucking place. But, you know, a lot of people got so much ego. They got these degrees and they got all this shit and they frustrated. That's why they asking for bailouts on their fucking degrees and they bailouts on their all the money that Sally made that they owe for all these degrees and all this shit that they got.
Yes, sir. That's why I got mad when they tried to tell the black players they must need degrees. I was like, y'all not telling them white people that. Y'all didn't tell Steve Jobs that. Y'all didn't tell Bill Gates he needed a degree because neither one of them got a degree. They got a skill and they became what they were. And it's like they're only telling those basketball players that. But when you're a black person and you go to school and high school and you graduate and you go work at Walmart, I've never seen one of those white people pull over that black person and says, you know what? We're going to stop Walmart from hiring you until you get a degree. No, they let that happen. So it's like they put a kibosh on certain things and not the others. Ladies and gentlemen, we're with my man Kwame Brown. Listen, I got to have you come out here because I didn't know you was an avid gun guy. But for everybody who knows me, I'm a crazy gun guy. Like
I damn sure am.
I'm a nutty gun guy. I got 44 mags. I got 50 AEs. I got SW500. I let Brittany Griner, I don't know if you know her, play for the Phoenix Mercury. When I played out, when I lived out in Phoenix, she came out with me to shoot, and I let her shoot that 50. And as big as she was, that cake was real. she couldn't take it. So I'm gonna have to take you out with me. Sometimes I gotta take you out there and I gotta let you just shoot them and see what you can do with them big boys that I got. But I want to know from you, you talked about Donald Trump and how blacks tend to want to blame Trump. They want to blame the white man, but they never look at themselves. When you think about that, can you tell us real world experiences in which you saw that and what made you speak out about that specifically?
Because it's like, I live around you. Like I see you every day. Like I said, like I'm not these white people. I know you in real life. It's people that do the business of doing nothing about their own outcome every day. And then they sit and blame somebody else. I try to get 50 men together and go down to the local election and let's vote. And every time I try to set it up, they look at me like I'm crazy. Oh, them white people, well, they say them crackers ain't gonna change nothing. They don't mean nothing. I'm like, dog, in the local election is how you really affect change. That's how you really affect change. They keep telling you to argue about Trump. Everybody who mad at Trump keep talking about the same thing. The go-to point is, he said he grabbing women in the pussy. And I said, dog, that's a recording of this shit, man. One thing about people like me is that you can't just say something if it's a recording of it. And the recording said, I'm so famous that these women will let you. That's a consensual thing after they let you. And now me being the #1 draft pick in the Rouse store in DC, matter of fact, in Virginia, in the Rouse store in Virginia, I had a mother and her daughter, who I thought was her little sister, came up to me. I had pimples on my face and everything. She came up to me. She said, "Ooh, you Kwame Brown. You so fine. You can have me and my daughter." So then Donald Trump is absolutely right that there's a certain select group of women, groupies, hoes, whatever you want to call them, that they will let you grab them in the pussy. based on what you do and how much money you make. So to say that that's not true, you just ain't made no money yet.
I tell the story all the time. Me, Mikey Moore, and Jerry Stackhouse. We were in Detroit, and
My dog, Jerry Stackhouse, that's my dog.
Yeah, we were in Detroit, and it was when he played in Detroit, and went to the game with him, and went to the after party with him. And the after party was in VIP. I didn't play with him at all. I didn't play no ball. I didn't play ball like that. I played in college, but that's it. In the VIP, though, they knew those were the Pistons. The girl who was there was this one girl. I had never seen a girl that fine. Body was just crazy. She thought I was one of the players. Because I was working at IBM at the time, my hotel was one of them double-deckers that was out there. It was in Troy. Upstairs, downstairs, loft, lights. So she thought I was one of the players. She went home with me. She did some of the craziest shit to me off the strength of she thought I was one of the players. And I just remember saying, man, this got to be great. Like, I would get caught up because she thought, well, he might be the 12th man or the 13th man. It don't matter. He got some money.
Man, you can be the coach and assistant. You can be the water boy. You can be the goddamn guy that washed the towels.
After the Warriors won, me, Mike Brown, we were in Vegas. Literally, Mike Brown, and you know Mike Brown, it was women all on him because they know he was one of the assistant coaches. And it was just funny to watch. And we got that video where we are partying in that, and I'm literally in between 3 chicks just all on me. And I took those 3 chicks back to the hotel with me. Didn't know anything else about them that day. And it's scary though. What scared me is like, how can you have something that easy? And I remember when dating was more, you had to work. And now I don't have to work. Like you said, I love that part when you said, I walk around in my Dickies or my camouflage and I can take your bitch.
I got on right now.
I told him I don't dress no more. I don't have to.
Man, he did wear Gucci, Louis, Prada. She still designed the fucking celebrity. That's what they keep telling her. So she gonna do it anyway.
Right.
I played with 3 legends, 4 legends really, and one of the legends I say is Rasheed Wallace, but I won't say no names who did what. But I saw a girl drop down to her knees in the middle of a club to a gentleman I was with. That's a she said, "Please let me give you fellatio. I'm gonna be nice because I'm on your platform." She said, "Please," and of course he didn't do it. He walked past. He like, but this is somebody's mama. This is somebody, daughter.
Mm-hmm.
This man played good at basketball. She said, "Please let me do my thing." But then now when Donald Trump say that because he white, he racist, or because that's stupid.
Yeah, and
that don't make no sense.
And the world sees it that way.
Following the logic behind that. Anybody who got money don't have no problem getting no woman.
Yes, and that's what is scaring me about the era. But we look at what Donald Trump has done for black folks. The unemployment for black males, the lowest it's been in a while. There's nobody out here struggling because, like you said, them hoes got enough time to be on Instagram fucking with you, be on Facebook fucking with you, be online fucking with anybody else. So they got some money from somewhere. Why do you think black folks are mad at a man when they're living probably more comfortable than they've lived in the past 10 years?
That's a good question. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I just think, people mad at me right now. Like, man, how can you denigrate a whole group of people over a personal thing and this, and that? I'm like, I said, man, you must didn't look at the video. I said the people who passed around this meme. I said it specifically to a certain group of people. And then I talked about women that I've been around. I said the women that I've been around, and I talked about my childhood. But you can clearly see other women have kids by other men. So that would be a reflection of the same thing that I'm saying. So you got to let the children that's in these situations start telling the truth. They are telling the truth through their rap songs. Tupac said it the best. And I think you said this, even though you was a crack fiend mama, you always was a black queen mama. No father has ever gotten the benefit of the doubt.
Like that nigga can't be on no crack and still be no king.
You can't even miss a game as a daddy. Like it's crazy, and it's you got Congress women telling men to sit down and shut the fuck up. If that had been the other way around, it wouldn't have been no Congress. They would have fired every man in Congress. Like, that's crazy. Then you got this fat big bitch talking about people, all black men cheat. I was like, what in the fuck?
And kept her job.
She kept her job. And everybody will cheat on your big ass. You ain't did a shit up in 10 years. Who the fuck want a big wildebeest? I know ain't no body shame. I'm sorry.
Yes,
but
body shame. Fuck that. If they can wallet shame us, they can height shame us, they can color shame us, they can all kind of shame us.
They tell me I'm too black.
Right, I done heard it my whole life. I'm blacky, smoke, crispy, like all kinds of crap from your own people. But I'm supposed to feel like, I can't date a white woman, but you can date a white man and then get on TV and say black men cheat as if white men didn't invent that shit.
Right. Serena Williams, white husband. Nobody, no black man said nothing. I don't give a fuck who she date. That's her business. That's why I said on my other live, I said, man, y'all keep up with the Kardashians better than you keep up with your own children. It's crazy. It don't make no sense. Every TV show you watching, reality TV, that's scripted. How does that make fucking sense? I know I'm the dummy. I know I ain't educated. You watching reality scripted TV and you smart.
And get up every day to do it. Like you said, I've watched these people. They know everything about my life. They know everything about your life. I remember I was told I can't say the truth because, well, you got kids out of wedlock and your mama had you out of wedlock. What do you think about that constant trying to find reasons why this person can't speak the truth and that person can't speak the truth? When it doesn't matter who's speaking the truth, I thought, as long as it's true. Why do you think they do that? They will pick and choose, like they will pick you apart to say you can't say what you're saying.
Well, when my math teacher taught me the KISS method, which she said it was keep it simple, stupid. I think to keep it simple, they just mad at you because you tell them the truth. It's the truth. Ain't nothing else you can't argue a fact without outrage. You got to get mad. Yeah. Because ain't nothing you could say other than that that's gonna make sense. You got to get mad and turn it into something else.
And I always say that because the thing is, if you accept the truth, with accepting the truth comes, you have an option now. You will either change or you don't. Yeah, you can't do anything else. So for them to not work means that, well, if I deny the truth, I don't have to fix anything. Because once you say, your car doesn't work because it needs a new battery, nigga, you get a battery or you get an Uber, but you can't deny it now. Right. If you deny it, you can say it was somebody else's fault. Somebody didn't do something. Maybe it's this, maybe it's that. And you can sit there and debate it, but never have to work at it. And from a man who had to work as a young kid, because this doesn't make sense. I don't think anybody can understand what you dealt with in real life. We deal with playing either the game of life or Monopoly, to be perfectly honest. You at a child, 19, 18, offered the amount of money that the majority of people who've worked for 60, 70 years till they die will never make. How did you deal with that? And how have you gotten to the point where you are, to the point where you see life in this manner? Because you were playing, you were playing with Monopoly money. You were in a world that none of us will ever be able to speak on or deal with. How did you get to this place where you're this grounded?
Well, the place that I got where I was grounded was before basketball. Like I had a grown man teach me. Like when my brothers went to prison, the back end to that story was there was a 70-year-old man that was still working in a green truck named Mr. Mosley. He had no teeth in the front. And he told me the truth. And more kids need to hear the truth. I had to imagine a 14-year-old sitting on a porch. He told me the truth. He said, let me tell you something. Your brothers went to jail. Nobody give a fuck. He told me just like this. Nobody gives a fuck. He said, these men will come around and have sex with your mama. When she needs something, they will come do whatever. You got a decision to make. You can cry and bellyache or you can figure something out. And I said, I want to figure something out. Tell me how to do it. He said, I got to go to work. And I go to work every day between 5:30 and 6 o'clock. He said, I'm not going to tell you the time that I'm going to stop. He said, I'm not going to tell you the time that I'm going to come by your house. He said, but I'm not going to stop. He said, if you're not out on that porch from 5:30 to 6 a.m., If I don't see you and I roll by, I'm gonna leave. And then you know your mama ain't gonna get nothing, and she'll be left to what you know she's gonna be left to. And right there, that made me a man.
God, dog. Ladies and gentlemen, we are with Kwame Brown, from former NBA first round draft pick right out of high school, when many of us were drafted straight to Chick-fil-A right out of high school. Nigga, I was drafted to fries at McDonald's, bitch. No, but
I worked at McDonald's too, though.
no, but that's what people don't understand. Like, people looking at me, and I said, do you understand that even in college, I had to do some of the crazy stuff just because my parents, my mom, who was a single mom, she had not a dime. When I got ready to go to college, I told her, go to Georgia Tech. She said, congratulations. I don't know how you're going to get there. 18 years of child support from my dad, not a dime left over, not a penny left to get me anywhere. What do you think about these women? I know you spoke about it, about these women putting these men on child support. And there was a meme that went around. I don't know if you saw it, but it's the sickest meme I ever seen. Although logically it kind of makes sense, which is fucked up too. The woman said, why have all your children by one man when you can have all your children by several men and get a big chunk from each one? Because if you have a bunch of children by one man, every time he gives child support for them, it's going to get lower because it's only one source. Logically, what she's saying does make sense. You get a full check from each man. Emotionally for the children, stability-wise for the kids, because I remember growing up with me and my brothers, we would argue. One of our daddies was black as hell. One of our daddies was broke as hell. One of our daddies was ugly as hell. The sad part is my daddy was all three of them, but that's neither here nor there. But the point is, why don't these women understand the damage that's being done, especially to men like us? Because we got to figure out how to be men on the fucking fly because there wasn't one there.
I mean, to me, it's like they don't care. They're being incentivized to do what they're doing. So why would they care? They don't care. Like, there's no backlash to a woman having a child. There's no nothing for a woman doing anything that we do. There's no accountability is the word that I'm looking for. So It's like, what do you mean that I'm not a queen? What do you mean? It's like, we could do the same exact thing. I know they complain about how we can have sex and we could be called a man and they can be called a whore. But if we have sex and we have a baby, that's a whole different story.
Yep.
We have no rights. We have no nothing. And like you said, there's no accountability with the money. There's no accountability with anything. Men are we're just cash crops, I guess.
And it's a sad situation that we have to go through this. If there was something that you could say to women, because people think that you and I, or people like us, hate women. And that's not the case. It's just you get to the point where, with me, I got to the point where I realized I still get to fuck them if I tell the truth. So I don't have to lie. There was a time when I was young, I was like, well, if you lie to them, that's how you get them. And I said, they don't give a shit. If I still got what I got, I can say what I want. They still fuck. So I start telling the truth, not because I'm trying to use them, because I want them to be better, not even just for me, but for other black men and other people society-wise. What is it that you would like for women to take from any of the things that you've said when you go on your rants or just do videos? And if you guys haven't went and followed him, make sure you look up Kwame Brown on Facebook. I'm telling you, his rants and talks are just regular talks, not even just a rant. The brother is very deep, which is something I'm glad you pointed out, that a lot of people say, well, he came straight from high school. Well, he might not be very intelligent. And I'm listening to you sound way more intelligent than brothers who claim they got their 4-year degree. What is it that you'd like to be able to convey to those women that they may not understand when they first hear you?
That people are pimping them. The people with their 4-year degrees and all this other stuff, they're pimping them. Like, the pimping game ain't dead. Like, the pastors and everybody, they're just using these women because they know they spend money. They keep the kids in the most horrible situations. They keep the kids in disarray. And when you have kids not settled without a foundation, a father, me, when I don't have money, motherfucker, we ain't going nowhere. We ain't spending nothing. We ain't doing nothing.
Right.
Motherfucker, you just gotta deal with it. A woman, somehow, she's gonna try to find Pookie and Ray Ray. She gonna be out willing and dealing. She gonna be doing her thing to make something look like a mirage that's not really the case. And man, I'm just not willing to do that. If I don't got it, I don't got it. And I think society placates towards that because women are sensitive. Men, we are not sensitive. And I think if there's one thing that I can say to women is just please just start working with the baby daddy. Whoever you had a kid with, stop having a kid, because majority of kids, and I know society say women are all this stuff. A lot of these women are just having kids for money.
Yep.
And if we would stop that, if you would make it 50-50, then these women wouldn't be having kids.
Nope.
They would. It wouldn't be the blessing that they try to make it seem. It's a blessing because you're getting this nigga money.
Yep.
It ain't a blessing if you wasn't getting this. Ain't no nigga feeling like this kid a blessing.
Right, that's what I told them. It's a blessing to you. It's a bill to me. I told them, I said today, and they got mad. I said, the majority of men, yeah, we'll fuck you raw. But if we had the same power that a woman have, I'd say 60 to 70% of the kids who are alive today wouldn't be alive.
I'll put that patch on my ass.
Nigga.
I would have put that fucking patch on. I ain't gonna lie. I'd have put it on my ass, my balls, every damn thing else. You gonna find shit me. I'm putting that patch on. They strong on me.
It said walk around with a patch bodysuit, just all patched up.
Man, I'm putting it in with the patch on.
But it's sad, but I think men would be more responsible if we had that ability. I think that's why they won't give us that ability, because they know, yeah, we understand it feel good when I'm in it. But as soon as I get through, I'll be like, ooh,
But Tom, you gotta understand something. Do you know the ugly truth that would be exposed if they give men the same options as women?
What's that?
They're not gonna do that. That would be. There would be women lining up in the street crying, like I said on my video. What a lot of people didn't want to take accountability for is that what I said was true. There was a government shutdown. I can't dictate who do what and go where. I rode by, I saw this shit. It was wrapped around the goddamn corner in the parking lot. If you made it 50-50 where a woman had a child and they can go to jail for the same thing we go to jail for, shit.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you'll need 10 more. You'll need 10, 20 prisons in every city for women.
Yeah, Wright Street would be. They'd have to put women over there in Wright Street. They'd be all in Gwinnett jail. They'd be a South over in DeKalb jail. It'd be full of women because women aren't held to the same fucking standards that men are. They don't even. And I said, what's messed up is I did a video and the man said, you know, women have the option to, if they don't feel like they can raise the child, they can leave it at the fucking fire station. They can leave it at the hospital. A woman who gives her kid up for adoption, nobody ever says, you a deadbeat mom. You didn't give a dime to that kid. Mm-hmm. Man walks away from a kid, they killing him. Even if he paying the child support, they still kill him. You a deadbeat. That kid needs you. And it's like, well, what about these women who are able to just willy-nilly kill a baby because they want to? So if you didn't lay down with Kwame Brown, if you laid down with me, you know you ain't gonna get no really big check. So you fuck around and you have an abortion. But you lay down with Kwame, you having that motherfucker. It don't matter if you knew him for 10 minutes.
That shit over with. Now don't tell them women that now. That shit over with.
Say them days are past.
That shit is blast for the past. That shit over with.
Nigga, they know it's a savings account. They trying to get into that. They trying to get into that motherfucking pension check. They trying to get it.
I ain't take it yet. I'm waiting. I'm 50. I can take my shit. I'm gonna be the best looking 50-year-old nigga you ever seen.
But if you think
that's what's crazy. It's like so many people talking. It's like, listen, I got it figured out. I don't want to sound like that, you know, but I got it figured out. I've been had it figured out. Like I'm not the guy to do all that arguing. Like I know what I'm going to do in a stressful situation. So I'm not trying to argue with you. I'm trying to get the fuck away from you. So it's like when I see all these dudes belly aching and crying, and I see all these women crying and all this Trump shit, it's like, damn, when I see you not taking the steps, like, yes. You don't got no goats in your yard. You don't got no chickens. You don't got no hens. You ain't doing nothing But talking about somebody that ain't talking about you, I don't respect that. I'm sorry. Like I'm from the era, like when that old man told me the truth. I ain't gonna say that old man. That Mr. Mosley told me the truth, and I respected that. I felt like he loved me at that moment. He told me the truth. So when I try to tell people the truth, like, oh, if that's what you're saying is what's going on, then you need to be doing this. Then if you're not doing that, I don't want to hear nothing else you're talking about.
It's a question.
We don't do that as a culture. We don't do that.
It's a question I always want to ask you. Nigga, how do you stay at the Holiday Inn? You know them beds is too small. What's happening? How do you get it? Like, because you got a different problem than most of us have. Like, simple shit we take for granted, like walking through fucking doorways. Like, how was that? What was it when Kwame decided that I shot up? Because, you know, Dennis Rodman at fucking 19 years old, he shot up 7 inches. What was it being you at a young age and now everybody's salivating over, oh my God, he's tall, we can use him, and then coming from the background that we came from, a lot of times you don't even know you're being used by the people who are trying to. Right.
Well, I was going from the beginning. I was a point guard when I went when I was in the when I was in the 8th grade. Me and a guy Franco, we were guards in the back court. And by the time I got to the 8th grade, I grew 8 inches. I went from 6 foot to 6'8".
Damn.
And I had bad knees and everything. My 9th grade year, I wasn't on the map because I was going to doctors. I was just getting braces for my knees because I grew too fast. So by the time my sophomore and junior year, I hadn't grew into my body, but I still had the point guard skills. So that's what made me unique, is that I was so much faster than everybody else. And but the part about being used is like, that's the funny thing. Like, people always say, and I know a lot of women said, oh, well, how would your mama feel about what you were saying? I'm like, you wouldn't want to know what my mama would have said about your ass. When I became the good son, it seemed like women protect the good son. She told me, don't you mess with them piss tail hoes. That was her thing. She called them piss tail hoes. Don't have them piss tail hoes pregnant. My mom would give me condoms. Before she got saved, no lie, she would give me condoms.
Because
don't
they
realize them piss tail hoes pregnant.
But they realize, here's what I've always said. I wish more mothers would tell their sons what we tell our children. I know you, like you said, you would tell your son, be like Kobe more than you be like me. And it was funny. I said the same thing. I said, I would tell my daughter, don't get a man like me. Get a man better than me, because I know my shortcomings. But it seems women will not tell their sons the thing that'll help them. They won't tell that. My mother never told me, don't get a bitch pregnant because she'll do you like I did your daddy. And she'd have told me that, I wouldn't have been in child support court for the years I was in that bitch. Why is it that women won't tell their sons that story?
Because they want to. It's like women get validated through their kids. Men don't get validated by being a good dad. You can say I'm a dad. They'll be like, I don't give a fuck. Women say I'm a mother, and that's some type of thing. You know, I have custody of. Well, I don't have custody of my son. The strange thing is, I got my son. I was in Connecticut one day, right? I'm in Hartford, Connecticut. I drove up there. My son's mother called me. He got hit with a hammer. She's about to send him to jail because she cornered him and said, you about to get me arrested, and my other son's about to lose their mama. So when the fire department, she had so much strength, she made the fire department and the police get out. And she cornered my son and said, I'll fucking kill you in here, after she hit him with a hammer. And so I said, oh, shit. So when she called me, I drove all the way from Connecticut to Florida, damn near Miami, Florida, to go get my son. I was there the next morning. And now, you know, the CPS agent that I was trying to talk to get her to get something to happen, they stopped responding because she worked for the government. Now, name a man that could beat a kid with a hammer and nothing ever happened.
Nothing happened.
My son go through it right now. He'd be like, man, I don't want to talk to her. He said, put her on the block list. And she'd be like, why won't you keep telling him to do this? I'm like, I'm not telling him to do this. I'm trying to get him to talk to you. But every time he talked to you, you cursing him out, making it seem like it's his fault you hit him.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if you saw the show with my cousin when he was on here talking about how he married this woman, Woman took his house. Woman took half his shit, got his kids. And then he ended up having to wait like 3 years before he could actually get them back. During that 3 years, this woman lost the house, had the kids living in a trailer, had both of them failing school. And like he said, when he got them, they wanted to come. They told the agents, I want to go stay with my dad. But these women are able to get along. He should not have had to wait 3 years of you seeing the fuck shit that they doing. The system is against men. We know why. My question to you is, why won't men stand up?
Hold on one second. Hold on one second.
I'll do. Ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are liking the show, please do me a favor and click that like button, click that share, tell people what's going on. This is the show where celebrities go to let go. We are back on our 2013 and 14, and that's where we're going to stay, but we still have fun with the other people. If you guys would like to do a favor and hit that Cash App, it's up in the corner. It's at 365. We have 3.6 million people watching right now. If you could, if you feel it's necessary, hit that Cash App. 3.6 million hitting it for $1. Man, it'd be a nice haul for the show, man. And I'd like to thank Kwame Brown for joining us right here. If you don't know him, look him up. You see how humble the man is. And that to me is a hard thing for a person to do that has achieved what he's achieved at this level in life. To still be humble is amazing to me, because a lot of brothers would not be as humble as this young man is. And he's back on the show right now. But when it comes to us men, why is it we won't stick together? You see people like Chris Brown dealing with this shit, Tyrese dealing with this shit. Almost all of us are dealing with it, but none of us do what women do. Women get together, they lobby, they get on shows, and they talk about it. But us men, only time we talk about it is at the damn barbershop.
Because we was raised by our mama that was going to make us different than every other guy that did them wrong. And so they keep trying to think that they can bash every other man and they can talk about every other situation, but my son ain't gonna do that. But then they don't realize that the shit that you're doing to your son, you gonna make him worse than everybody.
But us men, we don't stick together. We don't come out and say anything for each other. We'll watch a man get dragged. We'll watch Nas.
Like I say, you when a guy get, like when I was in that state of mind and my mom was living, like I never would say something like I'm saying now, because it would feel like I'm hurting my mama. And so you can't do that. I'm trying to be the man that my mama didn't get right with. So if you gonna hurt your mama, you're not gonna do that, right? You know, you're not gonna do that. You ain't gonna hurt mama. I used to punch a motherfucker in the face before. If you said your mama, I'm ready to go. You know, a lot of these dudes are like that, because it's like that's all we got. They saw what they really saw with them coaches coming over. So when you say your mama, they never know what you really gonna say. It's like, nigga, what? And you never know if they gonna say, I like your mama glasses. You still get mad, nigga. Why the fuck you like my mama glasses? Like, you know, that's just the way it is.
Yo, because it's crazy that
mama.
Yeah, it's crazy that we are, and you're right about that. I say you never see a schoolyard fight over your daddy. No, you started a sentence off your daddy. That schoolyard fight ain't taking place. But like you said, I've been saying that the thought is, somebody will sit up there and say, your mama a hoe. You will whoop that nigga ass, and you got 9 brothers, and all 9 of them about different niggas. And you still you still be like, how dare you call my mama a hoe? Your mama
what?
Your mama done sucked this nigga dick. You still saying you can't call my mama no hoe.
Yeah, all right.
But I'm glad you said that, because I never thought about it that way. We can't go against that, because it's almost like we're going against the women. Is that why you believe the women say to us every time we do step out and say something like you or me, they say, but your mama black? They don't have a real argument against it, except your mama black. That's
what it is. And that's why you never hear them say your daddy black, your son. Like I told a girl, and I said it in my life, your son black. You saying all these things, and you got all these. That's what lets you know what I'm saying is right, is that they're going to try to train their son. They think in their mind, my son is not going to be like the rest of them. And your son is going to be exactly like the rest of them. He going to think for a while that he going to help mama and he going to do this until he grows up, until he has a child by a woman, until she start playing games with his child and not letting him see his child. When those real man issues come up, He's gonna understand that you set him up for failure.
Boy, Kwame, I don't want to take too much of your time. We need to do like a part 2, part 3. I'm real serious. I need to get you down here and take you to starters and let you shoot them big boy guns that I got. I want to see if you can handle them 50 AEs and that SW50 500. But when you first decided to say the things that you're saying, were you afraid of what might happen? Who might have a problem? And if you were, what got you over that fear?
I was absolutely afraid of that. I wasn't going to say nothing. I was never going to say nothing. You know, I'm just like every other person with a job. I can't hear you.
No, I was talking to my daughter. She wanted me to go get something. I got mine too. Mine is over here, man. I don't know if you noticed, but earlier today I was up here doing a show and forgot to get her from school. She was sitting on the curb. So she coming down here and asking, "You gonna come tuck me in, Daddy?" I said, "I'll be up there in a minute."
Nah, but like I was saying, like I was afraid just like anybody else. Anybody with a job. That's the only thing they control us by is fear. Mm-hmm. All these men, they think exactly the same way you do. They just can't say it. That's why you are the most watched guy, is because you can say things that a rapper, a celebrity, anybody, they can't say it because the revenue stream will get cut off.
Yep.
And, you know, it's just me. I don't work for nobody, so I can say what the fuck I want to say. So it is what it is. And I'm not trying to get a job with nobody, you know, so I can say whatever the fuck I want to say. And the truth is the truth. And, you know, it is what it is.
Us black folks, and I'm going to see if you can leave me with this one as a person who said I'm in that position. Why do you think not enough black men seem to want to get to a place where we say, I got enough money to say, fuck you, because we're all dependent upon something else. So we have to watch our words. We're afraid to say something because our baby mama might see it and take our kid from us. Like, people look at me and they're like, well, you can see your kid whenever you want to. I say, I pay enough bills. Well, I'm not going to have her sitting up here telling me what the fuck I can't say. But it's like, to have that mentality as a black man, you're a chauvinist. Like, there's something wrong for us to be that confident in ourselves, to be able to say what you say, and then go lay in the bed with your girl afterwards. And she'd be like, yeah, Kwame, I saw your live. What you think, baby? While you laying there asking her what you think, because I'm not afraid to be who I am, and I can still be with you. Why do you think most of us men don't try to say, my job is to work to where I can say what I want, and I can be who I want, not be who you want me to be?
Because they have a woman in their ear the whole time telling them what they can't do. And my situation, my whole family told me what I couldn't do. When I said I was going to the NBA, my own cousins, my own uncles told me I wasn't going to make it. So, you know, it's just, you have a family, you have a generation of hurt people telling you about their shortcomings. Then, you know, if nothing they never saw success before, it's not going to happen. And most men are only going to go as far as a woman will let them, because a lot of them, they think that they can't make it without a woman. So, you know, they definitely not going to be able to lay in the bed with a woman because of that guilt. The woman ain't going to let them lay in the bed. If they ever say something strong or positive, they're not going to be able to lay in the bed. That's over with.
And it's a shame that we get to that point that we look at each other and we don't speak the truth, and we're afraid of speaking the truth. We don't speak the truth to each other, and then we don't support men when they finally do something. I had that same thing happen. A bunch of people tell me, you can't do, it's not going to happen, you can't do. And what was really fucked up was after I was told,
they came back.
Yeah, like it was like, okay, you told me I couldn't do it. I did it. I survived. I made it. Now the same person who told me, nah, it ain't gonna work,
they need you.
They you want something. And what hurt me is that in my mind, and I don't know if you had it, in my mind, because I was raised by a single mother and I was raised around a bunch of women. It was 13 of us in a 3-bedroom, and all a bunch of children and women. There was not a dude anywhere in sight. I still felt obligated, like Philip Buchanan said. Because I asked him, I said, after she gave you that bill, did you pay that $1 million? Do you know? He said, yeah. Out of that obligation. Did you get to that point? How did you get past it? Or did you ever have that obligation where you knew the person who's asking you for something, wasn't even a supporter, but you feel like if you don't do it, they're going to look at you as a bad person, so you did it anyway. Did you go through that stage?
Oh yeah, I got past it in 2009 after my mama passed away, and nobody called me on Thanksgiving. Nobody called me on Christmas. You know, my mom used to come up and cook for me all the time. That was like my special time. She would always be with all them. I pay for everything. I pay for our house. I pay for all their houses, they whatever. And so during Thanksgiving and Christmas, she would come up and cook. And I remember the first Thanksgiving after she died, nobody called me. And I was like, damn, like, what the fuck? Like, you can't even give me a call. And so that's when I realized I had to get over it. I'm like, my guilt is over with. Like, I don't give a fuck no more. If y'all go to jail, if y'all go, it's over with.
Yep.
You on your own.
And it's sad that situation like that. My grandmother was my rock, who said, if they didn't help you get there, then you don't have to take them with you.
Mm-hmm.
And it was something as simple as that. I remember she was like, hell, if I could get away from them niggas, I would too. You know? And I think people don't understand how it is in the South. We always have somebody in the South that just don't give a fuck. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why I said in my video, like, niggas, we don't get outraged for real. Like, we always had that big mama. We always had that drunk uncle. We always had somebody that got that pass to set you straight.
Yep.
And they told you the unadulterated truth, whether you liked it or not. They told you the truth and you received it. Mm-hmm. And you might not receive it in the beginning. You might want to swing on that uncle, but somebody checked you like, oh, wait a minute, that's Uncle Bob, motherfucker. You know he just telling you because he loved, and that's that. But now it's like we've gotten so battered and bruised, and we want to me, it's like we want to show out in front of white people because we know what really go on. We want to show out in front of white folk. But we know what's really going on. We know all these girls being raped by their uncle, their brother, they whatever. We know that, but we don't want to address real issues. Like we would rather deflect and talk about Trump. We would rather deflect and talk about this and all this other stuff that don't have nothing to do with nothing. We have the power to change everything. All you got to do is stop buying Jordans and stop having babies, and you'll change a lot.
Amen. And them weaves, them damn weaves.
Them damn weaves. That's the same. That's another thing. Sorry about that. The weaves too.
Man,
that's a lot of money that's being wasted that we got.
I want to leave it on this note. You said something that was really deep in the video. I addressed this before, and a lot of men have probably never thought about it. You said a lot of these brothers are willing to kill each other, fight each other, go off on each other really quick. Not because they hate each other, but because they typically hate their living circumstances where they are being battered and beaten down by some woman. Elaborate on that.
Well, that's been happening to me my whole life. You know, I've always been me. I've always been different. And for whatever reason, women like different. They like somebody who's comfortable in their own skin. I remember when I went to my visit to the University of Florida, I broke my hand. There was some big crazy ass football player who I guess his girlfriend and him was having issues. When I go on a visit and the girl tried to talk to me and my friend, and he came up and punched me, and then his friend punched my other friend. God. And we were rolling down the goddamn steps. And then, you know, after the bouncers took us outside and he went to bed over his old lady.
See how he took that nap.
He went to bed, so it was like, I hope the brother don't see this and remember who I am. But he went to bed. That's how I broke this knuckle. So I broke 2 knuckles on my hand before I got drafted. So it's like these dudes. I've been like that my whole life. I always been me, and it's just like I don't know. Dudes fight over women. That's all I can say.
Mm-hmm. Like it was so. Many of us, I said, if these dudes had power at home, they wouldn't spend so much time trying to fight each other. What it is that's the anger they have. The pent up anger at their mama, the pent up anger at their girlfriends, the pent up anger like the Antoine Fisher story at these women that have taken advantage. And you got to remember, we don't get to talk about these older women who take advantage of us. If they do it to us, well, we got lucky. But they don't understand how much it changes. Like that, when it happened to me, changed the way I even viewed and interacted with women because I was too young to be dealing with a woman. But they don't look at us like that. And I think they just don't respect men. We're like mules. And they don't even treat us as good as mules or a horse because at least you brush a motherfucking horse mane and get a nigga a carrot. You know what I'm saying? We don't even get that shit no more.
I mean, it's crazy. It's like, that's the same thing. It's like I remember you said something before. You said, men, we usually be honest. We usually will accept your criticism and we will change. And the crazy thing is, when I made that video, my cousin, some of the shit that I said applied to him. He called me. He like, yo, motherfucker, I know you was talking about me. I live with my mama, but motherfucker, I'm finna change that. He kept it real. I had a brother that, you know, he said what he said. His wife was talking to him a little way. And he was like, motherfucker, you right. I'm finna change this. So it's like, it made me feel good to just say something that could help somebody in real life. Because I don't care if you're a man, woman, whatever, you shouldn't be talked to that type of way. You shouldn't be made to feel that type of way. And I think so many times it's being pushed just because you're a woman, you get to be right all the time. Just because, like, a lot of times women feel like it's offensive for a man to say anything. And like, you know, I don't get it. Like a lot of the stuff that I see, if men say the stuff that women are saying in the media, it would be over.
Yes, sir.
You know, men will be in jail. You can't do it.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to take up too much of his time, and I got a baby to put to bed, but I tell you, this has probably been one of my best interviews that I've ever had, because just to be able to talk to somebody who just don't give a fuck. When I talked to TD Jakes, he gave a fuck. When I talk, a lot of these people I talked to, they gave a fuck. They tried not to. Like me and DL Hughley was real close until the woke shit came, and I understood he gotta eat. Me and Chris Brown was the same thing. We didn't really fall out. It's just I understood he couldn't follow me down the path in which I was going because he has shit he's got to do. But it's really nice to see somebody say, "Look, fuck it. This is what it is." Because if we can start getting more brothers together, especially brothers who don't give a shit, got their own stuff. Because I tell people all the time, and a bitch can put me out of nothing. Can't put me out of my house. Can't put me out of my car. And that's one of the greatest feelings when I can tell you to get the fuck out. Like I'm telling you, that's a great feeling. And I think what would change is if more black men took the opportunity to say, build myself first. Get my shit together. Have it to where nobody can tell me what to do. Then I can have freedom of thought and I can actually put what I know is right into the air and into my family. And I'm glad that you brought that out here. I want to give you the last word. Tell them where they can find you at on social media. And we got to do this again, man.
Well, shit, I guess you can find me on Kwame Brown Bus Life. That's my YouTube channel that I never really used. I guess I'll start using it.
You got to start using it. We're going to start doing some simulcasting. I'm going to get you over here in the studio since you out here you in Georgia. I'm going to get you out here. We got to get you to using that way more often because, dude, you spitting the truth. You spitting that fire. When I was watching, I was like, damn. Like, I was just sitting up there. I was punching air the way you were speaking, and we need more men to be able to do that, man.
Well, I just wish that motherfuckers would understand that. Like I said something in the video about the educated people. Like I know they're gonna get their little outrage and all that other stuff. A couple of things I said, but it's like the educated people is just like, it's almost like they're using people because they make too much money off of them. Because my thing is that if you're an educated person, then there's a couple of things you can tell people that will directly affect their life without a degree. Don't have kids out of wedlock. Like I listen to Larry Elder. I definitely listen to you. I listen to Larry Elder. I listen to Willie Williams. I listen to a lot of other people and that influenced me in the way that I'm thinking. And some of the stuff I was already thinking this way. But Larry Elder and Larry Elder break things down to numbers. And like you can see the numbers. There's no way you can't hide behind it. The numbers say if you don't have kids out of wedlock, if you don't do certain things, you get an education, you get a job, you don't have to go to college to be successful.
Yep.
And that's the number one thing they're telling people. So it's like, it's a lot of frustrated people. It's a lot of people that just not living their best life because they're trying to live it the way somebody else told them to live it. And me, I just always lived it the way I wanted to live it.
Yes, like someone said, somebody in the comment section said they think numbers are racist.
No.
Numbers are racist. And the liberals have sold it to them that way. That's why I can't be a liberal. The liberals treat black people like they're dummies, and they will tell them, "Oh, don't pay attention to those stats." When the stats show the number one cause of poverty in the United States is kids out of wedlock at a young age. It literally is the number one cause of poverty. If you just stop that one damn thing, you won't have to worry about being impoverished, because the only nigga you got to feed is you. The only person you got to clothe is you. The only person you got a house is you. And it's easier for you to live off minimum wage. But then you got somebody saying, well, we can't live off minimum wage. Hell no, because you got 3 kids. You shouldn't be at minimum wage at that point. But we don't want to talk about that because the numbers are racist. So you said they can find you on YouTube at Kwame Brown Bus Life. Where can they find you on Facebook? And do you have Instagram? Because you got to be getting at these thoughts, man. That's just what
I do have Instagram. It's Quan Low, KWAN_LOW. That's my Instagram. And it's open for you to see. But I gotta get into the social media thing. I never did, because I knew that motherfuckers wasn't gonna like what I was gonna say. So I never did. I knew that what I was gonna say was gonna get me into trouble, so I never did it. You know, but now I don't got no fucking job. I don't work for nobody, so that's what I want to say. I'm smart enough to get in a hotel room. If you look, this is a hotel room. I'm smart enough to get a hotel room so you niggas don't know where I'm at.
As I do, I let them shoot the wall. But it's messed up. They put my address out there and everything. I'm still waiting on the niggas to show up, though.
I saw that.
I'm waiting on them to show up, though, like that. I think they realize it's... there's Rambo Jr. up in here.
Yeah, because like I said, I've been waiting on some people to show up, too. But you got to be the person on Facebook or Instagram where you don't never say nothing threatening. You always the one on defense. I'm always on defense. I'm like I say, I'm soft. I'm a pussy. I'm scared of everybody.
Right, I like that. You say I ain't. What you say? I ain't hard. I ain't no gangster.
I ain't none of that. I ain't hard. I ain't no gangster. I just know some people.
Right. I said I ain't. Look, after a while it gets tiring shooting that paper. Let's see how it does with you if you just want to do that. Oh yeah, we gonna show up at your. Okay then. I mean, I can't stop you from doing what you want to do. It's free country. I'm just telling you. I'm scared. That's all I'm gonna tell you. I'm scared.
I'm scared as fuck. That's why I got a white dog.
I got a white cat. Arizona teach you to get cats with them damn scorpions. I want to get rid of them now because I enjoy it. It's just a headache. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we got my man Kwame. Kwame, thank you for coming on the show, man. We got to do more stuff together. This is almost like talking to my brother. This has been like a fucking pleasure to me, man. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Well, I knew this was gonna happen. I'm a big fan. I've been watching you for a while. I've just been trying to stay off the internet, like I said, because I knew I was gonna say something, and I knew I was gonna say something that sounded like you. So I knew, and shit, everybody hates you. So I was like, God damn. When I saw it playing, I said, oh shit. They're gonna misinterpret what I say now because they hate him, but I don't give a shit.
Well, what have you thought of the response that you've gotten since then? If it's been, what's it been? It's been moderate.
I got a mixture of threats. I got a mixture of, but like I said, I tried to keep it towards the people that made the meme, that made all the stupid stuff happen. Like I didn't say all black women. Like I said, I don't know all black women, but
exactly.
I do know that there's like Boyce Walker says, a sliver. I don't think he's right about that. I think it's more than a damn sliver. I think all the ADH medicine they tried to offer me and my brothers. I'm gonna write a book. I promise you, I'm gonna write a book. There's a lot of stuff that goes on to this whole single motherhood thing. That you have 8 children, you can make a lot of fucking money off your 8 children. So I don't want to give it all up at once, but a lot of this is happening for a reason, and I don't think women don't know about it. They know what's going on.
They're complicit.
So, you know, so they're complicit in their own demise. So it is what it is.
Well, we got to hurry up and get that book because I got to get it right there on the back with the rest of the books of the brothers that done written a lot of books. And I would love to be able to read it, more of how you became the man that you are today, because I think it is a fascinating story that you've had to overcome some things and then were able to get fortune that a lot of people will never see, and to be able to speak from a ground level of this is what it's like being in that situation. Because that's what I tried to do with A Fatherless America. Say, hey, look, this is what it's like being in that situation. It doesn't matter where you've gotten to. There are too many people who were in the situation who never got out of it. And the people who got out of it don't want to look back and be honest about where they came from. I don't know if it makes us look bad or what, but we'd rather gloss over that and be like LeBron James, because it really hurt me when he said, I didn't need a father. My mother was my father.
Man, we talk about that all the time, and I said this. I said, I wish LeBron would let me come to that barbershop talk where somebody can challenge him on the shit that he's saying, because it would be easy to debunk. It's like, you wouldn't be you without you. Like, the shit that you saying, it don't make no sense. If it's racism, like you said, how could you become you? The only way you became LeBron is you was useful in the room. You did something different. You ain't telling me that there's some things you could have done. You could have been out on the street corner, but you went to basketball practice like I did. There was some things that you did different from the other kids. And I wish that LeBron and a lot of these educators would get to that side of it instead of telling them things that they don't need to hear. You don't, okay, there's some racism in the world. There's some system set up that's going to stop you. Everybody deal with that. Everybody had to deal with it. Irish, Jewish, every person in this world had to deal with some form of oppression.
Yes, sir.
Whatever you had to deal with, you had to deal with. But the thing that makes you overcome it is a consistent grind and a focus on something. And that's what the educators don't tell people. They keep making it seem like it's not their fault, and that's not true.
Amen. Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my man Kwame Brown. Make sure you follow him on Instagram. I'll put all that stuff on the website so you'll be able to find it. Find him on Facebook. Find him on YouTube. I'm gonna force him to let me make this like a weekly thing, and even if he just come by to shoot a bird for 5 seconds, we gonna make this a thing, brother. Thank you for blessing me for coming onto the show with
Appreciate
me,
it.
and it was really, really, really fun to have you on the show. We gotta do it again.
Thanks a lot, man.
Thank you. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, that was Kwame Brown. Make sure you go and check him out on anywhere where you can find him. I'm going to make sure that we put all of his information up. I want to come back and ask him about Michael Jordan. I want to ask him about I want to get more into playing into the league if I get to talk to him again. But I want you guys to understand it is difficult for him to say the stuff that he's saying. It's difficult for anyone to say the stuff that he's saying. But guess what? If we can get Kwame Brown to come out, if we can get Michael Jordan to come out, if we can get people like LeBron James to come out, people like Dwayne Wade's got a story to tell. Think about how many of these men have a story to tell. They have a huge story to tell. If we got together and just said, and then not in the way of we're going to beat down women and we hate women. No, but we hate what's going on in society that allows women to destroy what it is that a man has. Most of us men and guys in the audience, you can tell me if I'm lying or not. Most of us want to work with, want to have a family with, want to lay up with. Derrick Rose, yep. We want to be with you, women. We don't want to not be with you. But it comes really difficult when you watch what somebody like Johnny Depp is going through, when you watch what Chris Brown went through, when you watch what somebody like Tyrese went through, when you watch what Neo went through. Oh, but let's not talk about the rich people. When you watch what your brother went through, when you watch what your cousin went through, when you watch what your daddy went through. And y'all can look at Kwame and tell that nigga living good. And I want to talk to him about, you didn't go broke. From someone who didn't get the financial advice like a lot of us didn't get. Say whatever you want to about this young man. This young man kept himself afloat. And guess what you don't hear him say or anybody talking about him say? He broke. He wasted all his money. He out in the streets like the brother who used to play for the Dallas Mavericks who just left. The fact that this man said he defer his pension because he don't want it till he get old. I defer my pension. I don't want it till I get old. I don't want to touch that money. I don't need that money. How many of y'all people know somebody like that say, I don't touch that money. I don't need that money. That money is here for a rainy day. That's why you should listen to him. Because you know somebody that done had that kind of money go into their hands and didn't let it slip through their fingers. Delayed gratification. How many of you teach your kids that? Delayed gratification. I have to teach the girls I have sex with that word, delayed gratification. Look, I'm going to get mine right now. You just wait. You may not get it today. Tomorrow. Delayed gratification. Seriously. We can't tell everybody just because it feels good and it feels right that day. You just do it. And that's one of the biggest problems that we have in the black community is that we have too many people who don't know what delayed gratification is. You don't have to try and get it to feel good now, because it feels better when you've crafted it, constructed it to where it works to your advantage, and now your money is making money for you. Now your money's making money for you. Now the people you are dating are treating you in the way in which you don't have to get up. She cooking, she cleaning for you. Now the man that you're with, ladies and gentlemen, is making it to where when you get pregnant, you can take that whole year off. Because that's the kind of man you picked, ladies and gentlemen. Can I get an amen? You picked a man that was going to rub your belly to the point where nobody knew you were pregnant up until the day you were having it. That's what happens when you delay your gratification. That's what you get. I'm Tommy Sotomayor. Thank you guys so much for being a part of the show. Let's see if we can run out of here. I'm finna go and try to be a parent for a little while, since I was a bad parent earlier and then left my baby just stranded. I ain't shit. Oh, but I don't want your bitch. Let me see what we got. The donations, did they come in? We were able to get to 421. That ain't bad. I'm not mad at you guys. I may be able to come back a little bit later. If so, I will talk to you guys. I love you guys so much. I really do. You guys make me happy. And I don't want your bitch. Buy this song. I'm out.
Shit done changed, the game done got a little strange. They don't understand this song. Shit. So it's time to teach each and every one of y'all how the game's supposed to go. Check it out. See, I remember back in the days, back when I was 16. If you looked at my bitch wrong, then that was it, G. If you licking your lips, then that was disrespecting me. And just like that, that's when a nigga went crazy. And then I realized, who the fuck am I? If that bitch say she wanna fuck, then nigga let her fly. Running up under these bitches might get you beat up or shot at. And come to find out, he fucking your hoe from the back. That's when I realized these bitches got game, the shit ain't the same. And when you get caught up, you end up straight looking lame. The money and fame, it put me in a different position. Now every time I turn around, I'm fucking different bitches. Now niggas see me run that girl and wanna trip with the quickness. Man, hold up dog, chill out man, I'm just minding my business. If you gon' check somebody, you better check that trick. I'ma tell you to your face, boy, I don't want your bitch.
Why you hating on me?
Why you hating, dog?
Cause I don't want your bitch. That bitch keep looking at me.
Yeah, that bitch looking at me, man.
Cause if I want your bitch, I'd have fucked long ago.
Fuck that bitch,
But I don't want your bitch, cause that bitch just a hoe. I don't want your bitch.
nigga, you can keep that bitch. Boy, I knew she was a hoe from the day I peeped that bitch. So I showed that hoe some dough. All it took to sleep with that bitch. Put that bitch up on the floor.
It go a vibe.
You keep that bitch. Every time you kiss that hoe, it's like you might as well kiss my dick. That bitch yelling out T-Styles, I'm yelling out, bitch, you kiss my grits. I don't want your bitch. Should've knew that shit when a nigga like Styles don't never return your call. She looking at me, you look looking at me, I'm looking at y'all like hell no. You wanted to brawl over this bitch, say home and straight ball over this bitch. I'm thinking shit, this bitch just let me just come all over this bitch. She even let my dog in this bitch, but she just ran all through the clip. And yeah, we was there, we just told your lame ass just stop calling a bitch. Yo, that's a trifling bitch, and now you wiping that bitch. Boy, you be pissed if you knew my nigga Tone was still piping that bitch. Man, I don't even like that little bitch, so why you flown that little bitch? Don't look at me when you pass by, cause nigga, I don't want your bitch.
Why you hating on me?
Why you hating, dog?
Cause I don't want your bitch.
I don't want that,
That bitch keep looking at me.
Look at it, bitch still looking at
If I want your bitch,
you.
I'd have fucked long ago.
Hey, I could've fucked that bitch a long time
I don't want
ago.
your bitch, cause that bitch
But,
is just a
your bitch is just a hoe.
hoe.
Your bitch is just a hoe.
Your bitch.
So quit me mugging me, nigga. It ain't my fault that your bitch be loving me, nigga. Come off the stage and your bitch be hugging me, nigga. And I know what's going through your mind is that she fucking me, nigga. Come on, nigga, let's be bigger than that. I figured you whack, but you don't wanna hear that click clack. And I like that. Don't find yourself chilling laid up in the ICU. Your girl already getting fucked. Don't get your ass fucked too. Cause I be known for kicking ass from here to Timbuktu. And I bet $10 that these 38 slugs get you in him buck too. Get your crew hemmed up too for a bitch that ain't even worth it. She didn't deserve it, but you treated that bitch like she perfect. And now you're realizing you made the wrong move. But don't walk up on me, cause that just ain't the thing to do. Hey yo, believe me when I tell you cut your losses quick. Man, go and toss that chick, cause nigga, I don't want your bitch.
Why you hating on me?
Why you hating, dog?
Cause I don't want your bitch. That bitch keep looking at me.
Bitch looking at me, man.
Cause if I want your bitch, I'd have fucked long
Listen, Blair, I could've fucked that bitch a long time
want your
ago.
bitch, cause that bitch just
But she just a hoe, you know.
your bitch. Why
Tell him, hey, say, why you over there looking at me?
your bitch? That bitch
Don't understand why they looking at me.
I want your bitch.
Come on, style. Come on, man. Hey, let's be out this place. Alright. Hey, man, don't try to check me. Check that bitch. Cause I don't want your bitch.
Cause I don't want your bitch. Cause if I want your bitch, but I don't want your bitch, cause that bitch is just a hoe. Why you hating on me? That bitch keep looking at me. I done fucked long ago, but I don't want your bitch, cause that bitch is just a hoe. I don't want your bitch.
Good night, everyone. Thank you guys so much. Thank Kwame Brown. Thank you for joining the show. You didn't have to, but you made it, and I love you guys for it. Go out and buy the movie A Fatherless America's Changing Lives, and so are you guys. I'm out.